and welcome to this special second look exploring session. And for once, what I'm not doing is saying, here are all the people in the room who are going to be reading, because actually none of the people in this room are going to be reading. This is our audience. This is the proof that there is an audience watching this effectively live show that we are doing now. So we are in a moment going to be doing Thersites, a play that we first looked at as a first look a good year ago. And we have been invited to give it a second look, not just because we wanted to do a second look, but also for a medieval English theatre conference by the University of Lancaster, that we are doing a special performance of this tomorrow. We're invited to do that. And so this is effectively our work in progress dress rehearsal. So we have put just a teensy-weensy bit more work and effort in prepping this text and this performance. But it is not by any means a finished product. We're still obeying the usual rules of first looks. There are no cuts or certainly no sizable textual changes. We are presenting the bulk of the text as is, with only a certain amount of additional, shall we say, business that we have added to it. But otherwise, we're trying to deliver the text as is. As ever, a second look is a step towards how we might do it as a full-on production, where we might make textual changes and make additions or issues to see what we do with it for a live and paying audience. But today we have this wonderful group who are, I say, normally reading and at this moment slightly terrified of doing something completely unrehearsed. The people who are performing are currently invisible. So without further ado, I'm going to ask all these wonderful people to wave and switch off their video feeds as we prepare the show for beginning, switching off their video feeds and also muting themselves as we go in to begin. Hello, and welcome to the Beyond Broadcasting Service and today's second look performance of Thersites, sometimes attributed to Nicholas Udall. Today's performance of Thersites is brought to you thanks to our generous sponsor. Mulciber's Militaria, ironworks and military hardware for the discerning warrior. If you're looking for a good habergeon to protect your torso, a set of brigand irons to cover the weak points on your arms, then come to Mulciber's Militaria. Mulciber can do armour, bespoke swords, and the most up-to-date head protection, or, for those with a limited budget, he can get you a second-hand helmet or sallet from his bargain basement section. Mulciber's Militaria, formerly Vulcan's Forge, just left the A14, look for the sign of the flames. And now, to our feature presentation. We send you to 1537 and the world of Thersites.
Having a ruffler forth of the Greek lands, called Thersites, if you will me know. Aback, give me room. In my way do not ye stand, for if ye do, I will soon lay you low. In Homer of my acts ye have read, I trow? Neither Agamemnon nor Ulysses I spared to check. They could not bring me to be at their beck. Of late, from the siege of Troy I returned, where all my harness, except this club, I lost. In an old house there it was quite burned, while I was preparing victuals for the host. I must needs get me new, whatsoever it cost. I will go seek adventure, for I cannot be idle. I will hamper some of the knaves in a bridal. It grieveth me to hear how the knaves do brag. But by supreme Jupiter, when I am harnessed well, I shall make the dasters to run into a bag to hide them from me as from the devil of hell. I doubt not but hereafter of me ye shall hear tell how I have made the knaves for to play couch quell. But now, to the shop of Mulciber, to go I will not fail. Mulciber, whom the poet doth call the god of fire, smith unto Jupiter, king over all. Come forth of thy office, I thee desire, and grant me my petition. I ask a thing but small. I will none of thy lightning that thou art wont to make, for the gods supernal, for ire when they do shake, with which they thrust the giants down to hell, that were at a convention heaven to buy and sell. But I would have some help of Lemnos and Ilva, that of their steel, by thy craft, condatur mihi Gallia.
What? Fellow Thersites, do you speak Latin now? Nay then, farewell. I make God avow, I do not you understand. No Latin is in my palate.
I say, abide, good Mulciber. I prithee, make me a salad.
What, Thersites, hast thou any wit in thy head? Wouldst thou have a salad? Now, all the herbs are dead. Besides, it's not meet for a smith to gather herbs and salad to meddle with. Go get thee to my lover Venus. She hath salad enough for all us. I eat none such salad, for now I wax old, and for my stomach they're very cold.
Now I pray to Jupiter that thou die a cuckold. I mean a salad with which men do fight.
It is a small tasting of a man's might that he should for any matter fight with a few herbs in a platter. No great law should follow that victory.
God's passion, Mulciber, where is thy wit and memory? I would have a salad made of steel.
Why, sir, in your stomach, long you shall it feel, for steel is very hard to digest.
Man's bones and sides, he is worse than a beast. I would have a salad to wear on my head, with which under my chin, with a thong red, buckled shall be. Dost thou yet perceive?
Your mind now, I see. Why, thou peevish lad, art thou almost mad, or well in thy wit? Get thee a wallet. Thou have a salad. What would thou do with it?
I pray thee, good Mulciber, make no more bones, but let me have a salad made at once.
I must do somewhat for this knave. What manner of salad, sir, would ye have?
I would have such a one that neither might nor main should pierce it through, or part it in twain, which neither gunstone nor sharp spear should be able to hurt or tear. I would also have it for to save my head. If Jupiter himself would have me dead, and if he in a fume would cast at me his fire, this salad I would have to keep me from his ire.
I perceive your mind. You shall find me kind. I will for you prepare. Here. Thersites, do this salad. Where? And on thy head it bear, and none shall work thee care.
Now, would I not fear with any bull to fight, or with a ramping lion, neither by day nor night? Oh, what a great strength is in my body, so lusty, which for lack of exercise is now almost rusty. Hercules, in comparison to me, was but a boy when the bad dog Cerberus from hell he bare away. When he killed the lion, the hydra, and the boar so wild, compare him to me, and he was but a child. Why, Samson, I say, hast thou no more wit? Wouldst thou be as strong as I? Suck thy mother's teat. We knew that David, that little elfish boy, should with his sling have taken my life away. Nay, it was Goliath. For all his 5 stones, I would have quashed his little boyish bones. Oh, how it would do my heart much good to see some of the giants before Noah's flood. I would make the knaves to cry, oh, oh, Craig, or else with my club their brains I will break. But Mulciber, yet I have not with thee do. My head is armed, my neck I would have too, and also my shoulders with some good aubergine, that the devil, if he shoot at me, could not enter in. For I am determined a great battle to make, except my fumishness by some means may slake.
Buckle on this habergeon as fast as thou can, and fear for the meeting of neither beast nor man. If it were possible for one to shoot an oak, this habergeon will defend thee from the stroke. Let them throw milestones at thee, thick as hail, yet thee to kill, they shall of their purpose fail. If Malvern hills should on thy shoulders light, they shall not hurt them nor suppress thy might. If Beavis of Hampton, Colburn, and Guy will thee assay, set not by them a fly. To be brief, this habergeon shall thee save both by land and water. Now, play the lusty knave.
When I consider my shoulders, that so broad be, when the other parts of my body I do behold, I verily think that none in Christianity with me to meddle dare be so bold. Now, have at the lions on Cotswold. I will neither spare for heat nor for cold. Where are you, King Arthur, and the knights of the Round Table? Come, forth, bring your horses out of the stable. No, with me to meet they be not able. By the mass, they had rather wear a fable. Where art thou, Gawain, and Kay the Crabbed? Here be a couple of knights cowardish and scabbard. Appear in thy likeness, Sir Libius Disconius, if thou wilt have my club light on thy headibus. Yet lo, ye may see, he beareth not the face with me to try a blow in this place. Ha, sirrah, approach, Sir Lancelot de Lake. Oh, what, rend ye away, and for fear quake? Now he that did thee a knight make thought never that thou any battle shouldst take. If thou wilt not come thyself, some other of thy fellows send. To battle I provoke them, themselves let them defend. Hello, for all the good that ever they see, they will not once set their hands to fight with me. Oh, good Lord. How broad is my breast, and strong withal, for whole is my chest. He that should meddle with me should have shrewd rest. Behold you, my hands, my legs, and my feet, every part is strong, proportionable, and meet. Think you that I am not feared in field and street? Yes, yes! God, what? They give me the wall, or else with my club I make them to fall. Back, knaves, I say to them, for fear they quake, and take me then to the tavern, and good cheer me make. The proctor and his men I made to rend their ways, and some went to hide them in broken haze. I tell you what I would, I said not a turd by none of them all. Early and late I will walk and London streets stalk, spite of them, great and small, for I think verily that none in heaven so high, nor yet in hell so low, whilst I have this club in my hand, can be able me to withstand, or me to overthrow. Oh. But Mulciber, yet I must desire thee to make me brigand irons for mine arms, and then I will love thee as much as my own sire, for without them I cannot be safe from all harms. Those once had, I will not set a straw by all the world, for then I will by all have all my mind, or else by the holy rood I will make them think the devil carrieth them to the wood. If no man will with me battle take, a voyage to hell quickly I will make, and there I will beat the devil and his dame, and bring the souls away. I fully intend the same. After that in hell I have ruffled so, straight to old purgatory will I go. I will clean that, and so purge it round about, that we shall have no need of pardons to help them out. If I have not fight enough this ways, I will climb to heaven, and fet away Peter's keys. I will keep them myself, and let in a great rout. What, should such a fisher keep good fellows out?
Here, Thersites, brigand irons bright. And fear thou no man manly to fight, though he be stronger than Hercules or Samson, be thou pressed and bold to set him upon. Neither Amazon nor Xerxes, with their whole rabble thee to assail, shall find it profitable. I warrant thee, they will flee from thy face as doth an hare from the dogs in a chase. Would not thy black and rusty grim beard, now thou art so armed, make any man afeard? Surely, if Jupiter did see thee in this gear, he would run away and hide him for fear. He would think that Typhaeus the giant were alive, and his brother Enceladus again with him to strive. If the Mars of battle, the god stout and bold, in this array should chance thee to behold, he would yield up his sword unto thee, and god of battle he would say thou shouldst be. Now, fare thee well, go the world through and seek adventures. Thou art man good enow.
Mulciber, while the stars shall shine in the sky, and Phaeton's horses with the sun's chariot shall fly, while the morning shall go before noon, and cause the darkness to vanish away soon, while that the cat shall love well milk, and while that women shall love to go in silk, while beggars have lice, and cockneys and knights, while pardoners can lie, merchants can buy, and children cry, while all these last, and more, which I keep in store, I do me faithfully bind this thy kindness to bear in mind. But yet, Mulciber, one thing I ask more. Hast thou ever a sword now in store? I would have such a one that would cut stones and pare a great oak down at once. That were a sword, oh lo, even for the nonce.
Truly, I have such a one in my shop that will pare iron as it were a rope. Have here it is. Gird it to thy side. Now, fare thou well. Jupiter be thy guide.
Oh, mercy, Mulciber, with my whole heart, give me thy hand, and let us depart. Now I go hence, and put myself in prease. I will go seek adventures. And that I will not cease. If there be any present this night that will take upon them with me to fight, let them come quickly, and the battle shall be pies. Where is Cacus? Where is Cacus, that knave not worth a groat that was wont to blow clouds out of his throat, which stole Hercules' kine and hid them in his cave? Come hither, Cacus, thou lubber and false knave. I will teach all the wretches by thee to beware. If thou come hither, I trap thee in a snare. Thou shalt have not bread and ill fare. How say you, good godfather, that looks so stale? Ye seem a man to be born in the Vale. Dare ye adventure with me a stripe or two? Go, coward, go, as thou hide thee as thou wast wont to do. What sort of dastards have we here? None of you to battle with me dare appear. What say you, heart of gold, of countenance so demure? Will you fight with me? Now I am right sure. Fight, blush not, woman. I will do you no harm, except I had you sooner to keep my back warm. Alas, little Pums, why are you so afraid? I pray you, show how long it is since you were a maid. Tell me in mine ear. Sirs, she hath me told that gone was her maidenhead at 13 years old. By a lady, she was loath to keep it too long. And I were a maid again, now may be here sung. Do after my counsel of maidens the whole bevy. Quickly rid your maidenheads, for they are vengeance heavy. Well, let all go. Why, will none come in with me to fight, that I may pare his skin?
What say you, my son? Will you fight God and defend? For what cause to war do you now pretend? Will you commit to battles dangerous your life, that is to me so precious?
I will go. I will go. Oh, stop not my way. Hold me not, good mother. Heartily you pray. If there be any lions or other wild beasts that will not suffer the husbandman in rest, I will go seek them and bid them to a feast. They shall abide bitterly the coming of such a guest. I will seek them both in bush and shrub and lay on a load with this lusty club. Ow, ow!
Oh, my sweet son, I am thy mother. Wilt thou kill me? Thou hast none other.
No, mother, no. I am not of such iniquity that I will defile my hands upon thee. But be content, mother, for I will not rest till I have fought with some man or wild beast.
Truly, my son, if that ye take this way, this shall be the conclusion. Mark what I shall say. Other I will drown myself for sorrow, and feed fishes with my body before tomorrow. Or with a sharp sword, truly, I will me kill. Now thou may save me, if it be thy will. Oh, I will also cut my paps away, gave thee suck so many a day. And so in all the world it shall be known that by mine own son I was overthrown. Therefore, if my life be to thee pleasant, that which I desire, O son, do me grant.
Mother, thou spendest thy wind but in waste. The goddess of battle her fury on me hath cast. I am fully fixed battle for to taste. Oh, how many to death I shall drive in haste. I will ruffle this club about my head, and or else I pray God I never die in my bed. There shall never be a stroke struck with my hand, but they shall think that Jupiter doth thunder in the land.
My own sweet son, I kneeling on my knee, and both my hands holding up to thee, desire thee to cease, and no battle make, and call thee to patience, and better ways take.
Tush, mother, I am deaf.
What?
I will thee not hear.
My son!
No.
But...
No. If Jupiter himself now here were, and all the gods, and Juno his wife, and loving Minerva that abhorreth all strife, if all these, I say, would desire me to be content, they did their wind but in vain spend. I will have battle. In Wales or in Kent, and some of the knaves I will all to rent. Where is the valiant knight, Sir Isumbras? Appear, sir, I pray you. Dare ye not show your face? Where is Robin John and Little Hood? Approach hither quickly, if you think it good. I will teach such outlaws with Christ's curses how they take hereafter away abbots' purses. Why will no adventure appear in this place? Where is Hercules with his great mace? Where is Bucyrus that fed his horses full like a tyrant with dead men's corses? Come, any of you, both, and I make an oath that ere I eat any bread, I will drive a wain, for need to wane, between your body and your head. This passeth my brains. Will none take the pains to try with me a blow? Oh, what a fellow am I, whom every man doth fly that doth me but once know. Yeah.
Son, all do you fear that be present here? They will not with you fight, right? You, as you be worthy, have now the victory without tasting of your might. Here is none, I trow, that proffereth you a blow, man, woman, nor child. Do not set your mind to fight with the wind. Be not so mad, nor wild.
I say, arise, whosoever will fight. I am to battle. Here, ready dight. Come hither, other swain or knight. Let me see, who dare present him to my sight. Here with my club, ready I stand. If any will come, to take them in hand.
There is no hope left in my breast to bring my son unto better rest. He will nothing do at my request. He regardeth me no more than a beast. I see no remedy, but still I will pray to God my son to guide in his way, that he may have a prosperous journeying and be safe at his returning. Son. Son, God above, grant this my oration, that when in battle thou shalt have concertation with thine enemies, other far or near, no wound in them nor in you shall appear, so that ye neither kill nor be killed.
Mother, thy petition I pray God be fulfilled, for then no knave's blood shall be spilled. Fellows, keep my counsel. By the mass, I do but crake. I will be gentle enough and no business make, but yet I will make her believe that I am a man.
Amen.
Think you that I will fight? No, but with the can, except I find my enemy on this wise, that he be asleep or else cannot arise. If his arms and his feet be not fast bound, I will not proffer a stripe for £1,000. Farewell, mother. And tarry here no longer, for after prowess of chivalry, I do both thirst and hunger. I will beat the knaves as flat as a conker. What? How long shall I tarry? Be your hearts in your hose. Will there none of you in battle me oppose? Come, prove me. Why stand you so in doubt? Have you any wild blood that you would have let out? Alas, that a man's strength cannot be known, because that he lacks enemies to be overthrown. Oh, but what a monster do I see now, coming hitherward with an armed brow? Yeah, what is it? Oh, it is a sow. No. By God's body, it is but a gristle, and on the back it has never a bristle. It is not a cow. There I fail, for then it should have a long tail. What the devil! I was blind. It is but a snail. I was never so afraid, in east nor in south. My heart, at the first sight, was at my mouth. Marry, sir, puh, puh, puh. Ha, I do sweat for fear. I thought I had craked but too timely here. Hence, thou beast, and pluck in thy horns, or I swear by him the crown it was with thorns, I will make thee drink worse than good ale in the corns. Hast thou nothing else to do but come with horns and face me so? Help! Help! My servants! Get you shield and spear, and let us worry and kill this monster here.
Is this not a worthy knight, that with a snail dareth not fight except he have his servant's aid? Is this the champion that maketh all men afraid? I am a poor soldier, come of late from Calais. I trust, ere I go, to debate some of his malice. I will tarry my time till I do see betwixt him and the snail what the end will be.
Why, you wholesome knaves! Regard ye not my calling, why do ye not come, and with you weapons bring? What, shall this monster now so escape killing? No, that he shall not, so God be willing.
I promise you this is as worthy a knight as ever shall bread out of a bottle bite. I think he be Dares, of whom Virgil doth write, that would not let Entellus alone, but ever provoked and ever called on. But yet, at the last, he took a fall. And so, within a while, I trow I make thee shall.
Oh, my God's passion! Knaves! If I come, I will you fetter. Regard ye my crying and calling no better. Why, whore's sons, I say, will ye not come? By the mass, the knaves be all from home. They had better have fet me an errand at Rome.
By my troth, I think that very scant. This lubber dared venture to fight with an ant.
Well, seeing my servants come to me will not, I must take heed that this monster me spill not. I will jeopard with it a joint, and either with my club or my sword's point I will reach it such wounds as I would not have for 40,000 pounds. Pluck in thy horns, thou unhappy beast. What facest thou me? Wilt thou not be in rest? Why wilt thou not thy horns in hold? Thinkest thou that I am a cuckold? Odd sons! The monster comes towards me still. Except I fight manfully, it will me surely kill.
Lord, does... See and hear how he feareth the snail as if it were a bear.
Well, with my club I have had good luck. Now, with my sword, have at thee a pluck! I will make thee, ere I go, for to duck, and thou were as tall a man as Friar Tuck. I say yet again, thy horns in draw, or else I will make thee to have wounds raw. Art thou not afeard to have thy beard paired with my sword? Oh, well, now, no more. Thou mightest have done so before. I laid at it sore, that it thought it should have been law, and it had not drawn in his horns again. Surely I would the monster have slain. But now, farewell. I will work thee no more pain. Now, my fume is past, and does no longer last than I did to the monster cast. Now, in other countries, both near and far, more deeds of chivalry I will go inquire.
Thou needest not seek any further, for ready I am here. I will debate anon, I trow, thy bragging cheer.
Now, where is any more that will me assail? I will turn him and toss him to both top and tail, if he be stronger than Samson was, who with his bare hands killed lions apace.
What needeth this boast? I am here at hand, that with thee will fight. Keep thy head and stand. For all thy high words, I will not fear to essay thee a touch till some blood appear. I will give thee somewhat for the gift of a new year. Goodness sake.
Mother, save me, hide me. Hide me.
O my son, what thing aileth thee?
Mother, 10,000 soldiers are after me.
Marry, son. Then it was time to fly. O my son, what thing aileth thee?
Mother, 1,000 horsemen do persecute me.
Marry, son, then it was time to fly. I blame thee not then, though afraid thou be. A deadly wound thou mightest there soon catch. One against so many is no indifferent match.
No, Mother, but if they had been but 10 to 1, I would not have avoided it, but set them upon. But seeing they be so many, I ran away. Hide me, Mother! Hide me! I heartily pray! For if they come hither and hear me find, to their horses' tails they will me bind, and after that fashion hail me and kill me. And though I were never so bold and stout, to fight against so many I should stand in doubt.
Thou that dost seek giants to conquer, come forth if thou dare, and in this place appear. Fie, for shame, dost thou so soon take flight? Come forth, and show somewhat of thy might.
Hide me, Mother, hide me, and never word say.
Thou, old trot, seest thou any man come this way, well armed and weaponed and ready to fight?
No, forsooth, master, there came none in my sight.
He did avoid in time, for without doubts I would have set on it. If I may take him, I will make all slouches to beware by him. They come in my clutches.
Come forth, my son, for your enemy is gone. Be not afraid, for hurt thou canst have none.
Thou didst wisely, whosoever thou be, to tarry no longer, to fight with me. Oh, with my club, I would have broken thy skull. If thou wert as big as Hercules' bull. Why, thou cowardly knave, no stronger than a duck, darest thou thy masteries with me to try a pluck, which fear neither giants, nor Jupiter's firebolt, nor Beelzebub the master devil, as ragged as a colt? I would thou wouldst come hither once again. I think thou hadst rather alive to be flying. Come again, and I swear by my mother's womb, I will pull thee in pieces no more than my thumb, and thy brains abroad I will sow, scatter, that all knaves shall fear against me to clatter. Ah! What? Little Telemachus, what makest thou here among us?
Sir, my father Ulysses doth him commend to you most heartily, and here he hath you send of his mind a letter, which show you better everything shall than I can make rehearsal.
Lo, friends, you may see what great men write to me. As entirely as heart can think or scrivener can write with ink, I send you loving greeting, Thersites, my own sweeting. I am very sorry when I cast in memory the great unkindness and also the blindness that hath been in my breast against you ever pressed. I have been prompt and diligent ever to make you shent, to appall your good name, and to minish your fame. In that I was to blame. But, well, all this is gone, and remedy there is none, but only repentance of all my old grievance with which I did you molest, and gave you sorry rest. The cause was thereof truly nothing but very envy. Whereof now, gentle esquire, forgive me, I you desire, and help, I you beseech, Telemachus to a leech. Leech?
A doctor.
And help I you beseech Telemachus to a leech, that him may wisely charm from the worms that do him harm. In that ye may do me pleasure, for he is my chief treasure. Oh. I have heard men say that come by the way, that better charmer is no other than is your own dear mother. I pray you of her obtain to charm away his pain. Fare you well, and come to my house to drink wine and eat a piece of souse, and we will have minstrelsy that shall pipe Hankimbo be. My wife Penelope doth greet you well by me. Writing at my house on Candlemas Day, midsummer month, the calends of May, by me, Ulysses, being very glad that the victory of late of the monster ye had. Oh, sirrah, quoth he. How say you, friends all? Ulysses is glad for my favour to call. Well, though we oft have swerved, and he small love deserved, yet I am well content, seeing he doth repent, to let old matters go, and to take him no more so as I have done hitherto for my mortal foe. Come, go with me, Telemachus. I will thee bring unto my mother to have her charming. I doubt not, but by that time that she hath done, thou shalt the better be 7 year agone. Mother! God save thee. And see, Ulysses hath sent his son to thee, that thou shouldst him charm from the worms that him harm.
Son, ye be wise, keep ye warm. Why should I for Ulysses do that never was kind us to? He was ready in war ever thee, son, to mar. Then had been all my joy exiled clean away.
Well, mother, all that is past. Wrath may not always last, and seeing we be mortal all, let not our wrath be immortal.
Charm that charm will, he shall not be charmed a me.
Charm! Oh, by the mass, with my club I will charm thee.
Why, son, art thou so wicked to beat thy mother?
Yeah, that I will. By God's dear brother. Charm, old witch, in the devil's name, or I will send thee to him to be his dame.
Alas, what a son have I that doth me order spitefully! Cursed be the time that ever I him fed! I would in my belly he had been dead.
Cursest thou? Old poor, bless me again, or I will bless thee that shall be to thy pain.
He will kill me! He will spill me! He will bruise me! He will lose me! Oh, he will prick me! He will stick me!
The devil stick thee, old withered witch, for I will stick neither thee nor none such. But come off, give me my blessing again. I say, let me have it, or else certain with my club I will lay thee on the brain.
Well, seeing thou threatenest to me affliction, spite o' my heart, have here my benediction. Now Christ's sweet blessing and mine light above and beneath the body of thine, and I beseech with all my devotion that thou mayest come to a man's promotion. He that forgave Mary Magdalene her sin, now make thee highest of all thy kin.
And this word is double intelement. Wouldst thou have me hanged, mother, veriment?
No, son, but to have you high in promotion is my mind verily.
Well then, mother, let all this go, and charm this child that you is sent to. And look hereafter, to curse you be not greedy. Curse me no more. I am cursed enough already.
Well, son, I will curse you no more, except ye provoke me too sore. But I marvel why ye do me move to do for Ulysses, that doth not us love.
Mother, by his son he hath sent me a letter, promising hereafter to be to us better. And you and I, with my great club, must walk to him and eat a syllabub, and we shall make merry and sing Turl on the Berry with Simkin Sydenham Sumner that killed a cat at Cumnor. There the trifling Taborer, troubler of tunes, will pick Peter Piebaker a pennyworth of prunes. Nicole never good, a net and a nightcap knit will for Kit, whose knee caught a nap. David Doughty, diter of dates, grin with Godfrey Goodall will, greedy at the gates. Tom Tumbler of Tewkesbury, turning at a trice, will wipe William Waterman, if he be not wise. Simon Sadler of Sudley, that served the cow, hit Will Henry Heartless, he heard not yet how. Jenkin Jacob, that jobbed Jolly Joe, will grummily seed until he grow. Proud Pierce Pixank, that picked Parnell's purse, cut will the cakes, though cakes do cry and curse. Rough Robin Rover, ruffling in right rate, bold Bernard Brainless will beat and Bennett bait. Foolish Frederick Ferberer of a fart, ding Daniel Dainty to death will with a dart. Mark of Merrilees, mourning for Mad Mary, Tink will the tables, though he there not tarry. Andrew Allnave, Alderman of Antwerp, hop will with hollyhocks and hearken Humphrey's harp. It is to mother the pastime and good cheer that we shall see and have when that we come there. Wherefore, gentle mother, I thee heartily pray that thou wilt charm for worms this pretty boy.
Well, son, seeing the case and matter standeth so, I am content all thy request to do. Come hither, pretty child, I will thee charm from the worms wild. But first, do me thy name tell.
I am called Telemachus, there as I dwell.
Telemachus, lie down upright on the ground, and stir not once for £1,000.
I am ready here pressed to do all your request.
The cowherd of Comerton, with his crooked spade, cause from thee the worms soon to vade. And jolly Jack Tumbler, that juggleth with a horn, grant that thy worms soon be all to torn. Good grandsire Abram, godmother to Eve, grant that these worms no longer this child grieve. All the court of conscience in cuckold sheer, tinkers and taborers, tipplers, taverners, tittifils, triflers, turners and trumpers, tempters, traitors, travellers and thumpers, thriftless, thievish, thick and thereto thin, the malady of these worms cause for to blin. The virtue of the tale of Isaac's cow, that before Adam in paradise did low. Also, the joist of Moses' rod in the mount of Calvary that spake with God. Facie ad faciem, turning tail to tail, cause all these worms quickly to fail. The bottom of the ship of Noe, also the leg of the horse of Troy, a piece of the tongue of Balaam's ass, the jawbone of the ox that at Christ's birth was, the eye tooth of the dog that went on pilgrimage with young Tobias, these worms may soon swage. The butterfly of Brummagem that was born blind, the blast of the bottle that blowed aleless wine, the buttock of the bitter bought at Buckingham, the body of the bear that with Bevis came, the bakester of Baldickbury with her baking peel, child, fro thy worms, I pray may soon thee heal. The tapper of Tavistock and the tapster's pot, the tooth of the titmouse, the turd of the goat in the tower of Tavistock, toasted by the fire, the table of Tantalus turned trim in the mire, the tomb of Tom Threadbare that thrust Tib through the smoke, make all thy worms, child, to come forth at thy dock. Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and Cole, the miller's mare, the 5 stones of David made Goliath stare, the wing with which St. Michael did fly to his mount, the counters with which cherubim did cherry stones count, the hawk that which Assuerus killed the wild boar, help that these worms, my child, hurt thee no more. The maw of the moorcock that made Maud to mow, when Martimas at Morton mourned for the snow, the spear of Spanish spilberries brent with spiteful spots, the lights of the Laverock laid at London lots, the shin-bone of St. Samuel, shining so as the sun, grant, child, of these worms, that soon thy pains be done. Mother Bryce of Oxford, and great Jib of Hinksey, also Maud of Thretton and Mabel of Chertsey, and all other witches that walk in Dimmingsdale, clittering and clattering there your pots with ale, incline your ears, and hear this my petition, and grant this child of health to have fruition. The blessing that Jordan to his godson gave light on my child, and fro the worms him save. Now stand up, little Telemachus, and on. I warrant thee, by tomorrow thy worms will be gone.
I thank you, mother, in my most hearty wise. Will ye, sir, to my father command me any service?
No, pretty boy, but do thou us too commend to thy father and mother. Tell them that we intend, both my mother and I, to see them shortly.
He shall be heartily welcome to them, I dare well say. Fare you well. Or you leave. Now I will depart away.
Son, give me thy hand. Farewell.
I pray God keep thee from peril. Wis, it is a proper child, and in behaviour nothing wild. He may see what is good education. I would every man after this fashion had their children upbrought. Then many of 'em would not have been so naught. A child is better unborn than untaught.
You say truth, mother. Well, let all this go, and make you ready Ulysses to go to with me anon. Be you so content?
I am well pleased, to your will I assent. For although that I love him but very evil, it is good to set a candle before the devil. By the most part of great men, I swear by this fire, light is the thank, but heavy is the ire. Ah, farewell, son. I will go, me, to prepare.
God be with you, and keep you from care. Oh, whatsoever I say, says, I think ill my chief fair. I care not if the old witch were dead. Were almost an alms deed to knock her in the head and say on the worms that she did die, for there be many that my lands would buy. By God's blessed brother, if I were not sick of the mother. This toothless trot keepeth me hard, and suffereth no money in my ward. But by the blessed Trinity, if she will no sooner dead be, I will with a cushion stop her breath till she have forgot New Market. Ill might I fare, if that I care her to spare. About the house she hoppeth, and her nose oft droppeth, when the warts she choppeth. When that she doth brew, I may say to you, I am ready to spew. The drops to see down ran, by all Christian men, from her nose to her nen. Fie, God's body, it makes me to spit to remember how that she doth sit by the fire brawling, scratching and scrawling, and in every place laying oysters apace. They lack but the shells. The devil have they wit health. At night, when to bed she goes, and plucketh off her hose, she nappeth me in the nose with prip, rap, slip, slap. Oh, that an ill hap come to that tap that venteth so wheresoever she go. So much she daily drinketh, that her breath at both ends stinketh. that an horse comb and a halter her soon up tulter till I say David Salter. That shall be a never mass, which never shall be, no never was. By this 10 bones, she served me once a touch for the nonce. I was sick and lay in my bed. She brought me a kerchief to wrap on my head, and I pray God that I be dead if that I lie any whit. When she was about the kerchief to knit, break did one of the form's feet that she did stand on, and down she fell anon. And forthwithal, as she did fall, she girdeth out a fart that made me to start. I think her buttocks did smart. Except it had been a mare in a cart, I have not heard such a blast. I cried and bid her hold fast. With that she, nothing aghast, said to me that no woman in this land could hold fast that which was not in her hand. Now, sirs, in that whole pitch and firebrand of that bag, so fasty, so stale, and so musty, so cankered and so rusty, so stinking and so dusty, God send her as much joy as my nose hath alway of her unsavoury spice, if that I be not wise and stop my nose quickly when she letteth go merrily. But let all this go. I had almost forgot the knave that here erewhile did jet before that Telemachus did come in. I will go seech him. I will not blin until that I have him. Then, so God save him, I will so benave him that I will make to rave him. With this sword I will shave him, and stripes when I have gave him, better I will deprave him than you shall know for a slave him.
Wilt thou so indeed? Hie thee, make good speed. I am at hand here pressed. Put away tongue shaking and this foolish quaking. Let us try for the best. Cowards, make speech apace, stripes prove the man. Have now at thy face, ha! Keep off if thou can. Why, thou lubber, runnest thou away and leavest thy sword and club thee behind? Now this is a sure card. Now I may well say that a coward quaking here I did find. Masters, ye may say by this play in sight that great barking dogs do not most bite. And oft it is seen that the best men in the host be not such that use to brag most. If ye will avoid the danger of confusion, print my words in heart and mark this conclusion. Such gifts of God that ye excel in most, use them with soberness, and yourself never boast. Seek the Lord of God in all that ye do, so shall virtue and honour come you too. But if you give your minds to the sin of pride, vanish, show your virtue, your honour away will slide. For pride is hated of God above, and meekness soonest obtaineth his love. To your rulers and parents be you obedient, never transgressing their lawful commandment. Be ye merry and joyful at board and at bed. Imagine no traitory against your prince and head. Love God and fear him, and after him your king, which is as victorious as any is living. Pray for his grace, with hearts that doth not feign, that long he may rule us without grief or pain. Beseech ye also that God may save his queen, lovely Lady Jane, and the prince that he hath sent them between, to augment their joy and the commons' felicity. Fare ye well, sweet audience. God grant you all prosperity.
And if I could ask the audience and the performers to make their way back into the video sphere. Well done, everyone. Some lovely things have happened today. I hope everyone's enjoyed themselves and has thoughts to share about how it all went. We had some. We had some good time snail action, which is, frankly, what we're all here for. As well as all sorts of other things. I just like to thank all the performers for all they've done today, and they're lovely performances. So, anyone want to throw any initial thoughts about the? We're focusing primarily on the play and what it's doing, and just general thoughts. Alan first.
Great performance to all. Congratulations on memorising or performing those tongue twisters, because it really seemed to be a verbal nightmare. The one thing is, it's upped the game significantly on props, makeup and backdrops for second looks going forward.
Yeah, it has to be said, there was a rehearsal earlier in the week, and Liza just said, do you mind if I make something? And then we came back, and she built a village.
Are you sure she hadn't just bought it? There's so much potential that actually, I say a bit of rehearsal, a fair amount of rehearsal can throw into the mix, especially with a text like this, which is quite difficult in terms of audience participation, because there's a lot of times it's not you're talking generally to the audience, where you're talking to specific people, and it's quite difficult trying to find the best compromise with that in this kind of forum. Dead worm as opposed to live worm there. To be fair, that's not in the script. I'd just like to say there are a few bits that we may have elaborated upon, but there is no specific stage direction for the worm. Other thoughts from the room? Anyone want to leap in before I start picking on people to see if they've got any thoughts? Claire, as a complete outsider to this room, I'll come to you in just a moment. Be prepared, because I would like to hear what you think. Francis?
Yeah, it's really just a question for Alexandra and Liza. Did you learn the script, or were you reading off screen?
Yes.
So that doesn't answer the question.
Exactly. No, I didn't learn it. Did you, Liza?
Oh, wow.
I memorized some bits where I knew that I would have to move and couldn't look at the screen.
Right.
And, earlier this week, we were doing a play called The Glass of Government, where the tutor figure says that poetry is an aid to memory. And so I was, when I first read the witchy incantation speech, I thought, I'm never going to be able to learn this. But I was surprised that it went in.
Right. I'm impressed.
And this kind of speech, for once it's in, it probably will never get out again either.
Yes, I'm going to come down and charm you for worms.
It's all right. You can use it in so many other circumstances.
Well, it'll save you so much money on when it comes to pets. Anyway, Claire, as an outsider to this, what have you done?
Well, that was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. I was sat here in my office in an abandoned part of the campus, just laughing my head off to myself. But thank you. Yeah, I thought it was fascinating, and I think actually you've managed to come up with some really inventive ways to address each other in the windows, in the boxes, with the props to kind of cross over and the net. I thought that was really genius. Did those things kind of just come to you, or like as you were rehearsing, or was it kind of masterminded?
Oh, nothing was masterminded, from at least from me. That came from actors making decisions and showing them to me and then tweaking.
Yeah,
so
really
I don't know who it came from, actually.
It's so clever.
We have collectively, as a group, we've done in previous second readings, we've done a few prop passes and kind of physical interaction things. So thankfully, it wasn't a complete blank that we had to step into for this one, because I think otherwise it would have taken a lot more rehearsal, probably.
Yeah, it's part of the new skill set that actors have to have if they're going to do virtual theater. We have to know how to interact with someone else across the immense distance of Zoom, as though it's no distance at all. I can, for example, shake hands with Alexandra here, or give Valentina a high five. So yeah, you have to imagine your friend behind the camera, just sort of there, and talk.
Yeah, and it struck me though that you can also do some really clever kind of creations with your own spaces, can't you? Because you can each kind of inhabit a different. I thought the Thersites persona with your space, you could kind of maintain that, but then also have the shop in a different window that's a different space and I think that's really. And the snail as well. I have to foreground the snail.
The snail I just worked on and got wrong a lot of different ways until I found a way that it could live.
Yeah, the last note I gave for the snail was it must be a happy snail when it comes in. The first time it appears, we have to know that this is a very contented snail that's got a great life and a great backstory.
I have happy snail written on my script in big red letters. This is the secret of the snail.
And there will be on the website next week, hopefully, a bit on the progress of the creation of the snail and some. There are photos and Aliki's done some stuff, so we're going to hopefully have that up next week. So the links will be in this video, he said, if he remembers. If not, just go to the website. There'll be something there.
Amazing.
Other thoughts from the room, Lois?
Yeah, they always say never act with children or snails, don't they? And but in fact, you actually brought it off really well. I was quite impressed. I was also quite pleased that I could get pretty well all the words. I mean, that's the thing that's most difficult. With such a peculiar text. I think only at the beginning, perhaps and that's probably one is getting used to the volume and the pitch, but. I think that is kind of a problem if you get too far away from the microphone. I don't know really, where it is exactly. Well, presumably it's in the middle of this computer screen. The other thing I wondered about is there any way you can fix your image so that you know where you are in relation to another person? I've seen this, I think, done when the Red Bull Zoom productions, and I don't know how they do it.
Yes, with a lot more time, we absolutely could do that. We have an approximate, and we can hopefully try and tidy more of that up in the future. But there's been a certain amount of trying to pull together some sense of that, but we haven't quite got there yet. Certainly, in terms of the sound thing, yes. Again, we could, with more time and also a little more tech, we could definitely do better things with sound and microphone relationships. It's still that ad hoc quality to it all as we pull things together. But yes, it definitely can be done.
So if you'd like to fund this production so that we can go about being utterly ridiculous some more,
Well, that's the thing, is that this is I say, officially our second look. This isn't as of we made, it's a conscious decision not to cut anything. The tech, that was all of the text, and so in terms of pulling together a more complete production might involve actual minor trims. But also, I think that question about tuning the audience into the kind of text that you're doing is a really important question, especially with a show that isn't actually that long. If they're spending the first 5 minutes, and one of the things I did say, was about narrative. This doesn't always explicate very well what is going on at times, and it was really overemphasizing certain things to make sure it's really clear what's going on when it's happening, so that we don't get the audience doesn't get too lost. I don't know if anyone did have moments when they might be not quite sure what was going on, or if the overall shape of what was going on. It's the kind of thing that you can bung in the chat and or email me if there's anything specific there. But any more general things about the shape of it all, or the play itself? Any questions about the play itself that anyone may have before I close this session? Elizabeth, and I think I see Briony as well. Elizabeth first.
Yeah, Rob, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed today's session. I thought it was marvellous. You were asking us to just have our responses to the text itself and to the actual narrative of the play itself. I thought the play had a tremendous shape to it. Thersites obviously is the lead, but when Miles came in and Telemachus and the mother character, each character adds something unique to the play. I thought that the character building in it was tremendous. I only just thought the ending was slightly abrupt. That was my only takeaway from the end. I don't think there's much you can do about that. I think that's the way the text is.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting how the text was constructed. So it's based on an earlier text, and in that there is slightly more tidy up with the soldier character. And also, all of the Telemachus stuff is not there. Telemachus isn't in that original source. So it goes from hiding with Mother, and then I think the soldier then comes immediately back in, and there's a little bit of a back and forth there. So I think it's to do with what happened in translation adaptation. But yeah, it is a bit of a how to close it. Whether there's in production, we need to just give a little bit more weight or work to how that closing goes. Briony.
So I'm not really supposed to because it's not about the text, but I just want to say credit where credit's due. I've seen a few bits and bobs done on Zoom, but I think in that production there was so many different things that you did with the Snail and then the screen sharing stuff, and it was all really, really well done. And I've seen, I just don't think you're giving yourselves enough credit for how well you did all that. But yeah, text wise, I love the characters, and you really brought them to life. And yeah, the tongue twisters as well. It was beautiful, and it was really well done.
Lovely. Any more? Otherwise, I need to close the session so that I can do some post-show work with the cast before I send them away for a well-earned break after a long day, and so that we know what we're doing for tomorrow. So I'm going to stop the recording now. All that remains is to thank all the wonderful performers and all the wonderful audience who's been giving some lovely feedback on the chat as we go along. We don't get an audience as we perform, so it's actually really, really helpful. Thank you very much, everyone, and goodbye.
Break a leg tomorrow, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. It looks great.